go. 5 lights, and away we go. Edge on pole position. Off they go, and I see he's got a decent start there. Edge got a very good one. He's clear into turn 1. Into 3rd place by the looks of it goes Silver.
Oh, and there's a car off! It's knocked Thomas into the wall. He lost a bit of his front wing.
All sorts of fun and games going on into the fast chicane there. Rev. Oh, and OceanChief get together, and off goes Ocean into the wall. So Edge,
He's getting in the nose.
about a half a second ahead of Sergio. Sergio's running a little bit wide, hitting the wall on the inside. That was a big impact. I'm not sure whether it got any of the front wing. It looked like he might have been alright. Very close now. Copy having to go to the outside of Bams as they run through turn 8 absolutely side by side, and I think he might just have this sort of side by side on the exit. They're going to be side by side, I think, all the way up towards the far chicane. Who's going to blink here? Bance on the outside, Copy on the inside. Bance. It is a new season. It is a new game. It is Melbourne, Australia. It is the same old commentators. Terror Incognita with you here alongside me as ever for this new season of SLR is Thimo Brown. How's it going, Thimo?
Hello, it's going great. Must say your intro was building up hype and then it ended pretty anticlimactic.
Yeah,
So-
well, you know, you
Can't impress anyone.
you gotta work with what you got. But we are pretty excited for this one. I certainly am. It's a brand new video game, a brand new grid of cars. Well, not all of them brand new, but most of them brand new. And we've got 16 of the finest drivers SLR have to offer for this race. It should be a good one. We've got, as you can see, a bunch of drivers that we see returning from last season, a few new drivers as well, a couple of reserves here today. Two.
Did he actually say we have 15 of the finest drivers?
We have 16, don't we? I think I hope I said
No, we've
16.
got 50 drivers on Cursed.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
he's
well,
not the immortal, he's above everyone
he is. Yeah,
else.
absolutely. He's. We don't refer to generational talents as drivers. We refer to them as something else entirely.
As fighter jet pilot.
So we will see how this goes. Hopefully the broadcast is okay. I'm having a look at the stream and there doesn't appear to be any of the stuttering that we saw on Thursday night, so I'm very thankful for that. In a few of the tests that I did on DX12 I had that stuttering, but DX11 seems like it is okay. So we are going to ride on board with Mr. Triton in the McLaren for this first SLR qualifying lap. We've got some yellows in sector 3, we don't quite know why. We've got, of course, soft, medium, hard tyres. We don't have the ultra soft, hyper soft, super duper soft nonsense we had in 2018 anymore. They are soft, medium and hard. I think one of the first things to say about F1 2019 in contrast to 2018 is that the tyre deg in 2019 is quite a lot worse. The tyres fall off an awful lot more than they did in 2018. Triton locks up a little bit there, a little bit squirrely on the exit of that right-hander. Seems like he's alright for the time being though.
Oh, then why is Yugos in this?
Hugos, yeah, decided that he was going to race after all. It's been a busy few days for Hugos. He's got the Enduro with us after this as well.
I'm very confused now.
Quite a
so
lot
the
of
old
right.
with the reason
What
that
on earth? Nick has been disqualified from the session for going the wrong way.
That's very cool. I think he parked it in sector 1. At least his car is currently being driven out of that section and now he's parked.
Well, there is the first lap of the season in any case. Nick is going to be starting from the back, unfortunately for him. It's going to be fun to see him come through the field, but the first lap of the season is It's Triton doing a 1 minute 23.0. That's a respectable lap for early in the session. I think it will probably be beaten by some distance though ultimately.
Yeah, I guess there's still, I don't know, like a second to come, because if you look at the pole time from yesterday, tier 2 and tier 1 is supposed to be faster, even though we didn't sort them by pace and just by assists.
Yeah, I would expect as Icewind goes second on a 23-1. I would expect Pole to be in the 21s today. I think we have drivers who are capable of doing that.
Yeah, so do I think. Like, yeah. For the new lineup, we've got lots of people we haven't seen ever, or in a while, or in SLR so far. I'm speaking about Nick in that case, but and also a lot of people are gone. And what the hell is okay? So Mercedes just did fascinating stuff. Astro Boys, the only one. Astro Boys and Triton, the only one out of the last season's title fighter, are still here, which means Copy and Get Owned have changed their priorities and are gone out of the lineups. So we'll certainly wait. Yeah, we'll probably get a new champion at the end of the season now that champion Copy is gone, and season 1 champion Edney is also still not here and hasn't returned, unfortunately.
Yep, I would have thought so. I think it'll be interesting to see who's able to step up. It might be Triton, it might be Hugo's if he races every week. We'll have to see. It might be Astro Boys, of course, who is on the medium tyres at the moment. Oh, as I say that, he drops it on the exit of turn 13 by the looks of it, and hits the wall. That'll be a new front wing for Astro Boys, unfortunately for him.
Yeah. On the Discord, Astro Boys has been accused of role-playing the car he's driving a bit too much in terms of apparently he's sandbagging, or he's actually still struggling with this game. That will be interesting to see. Obviously, frontrunner for most of the last season, or frontrunner through all of last season. In the end, not quite enough. Came down to 10s a bit as well. And he won the Australian... No, wait, he didn't win the Australian Grand Prix. That was Get Owned. Never mind, but he was a contender for last season's Australian Grand Prix as well. And it will be interesting to see if he actually...
Light cruiser hits the wall. Did he get away with it? He didn't lose his wing. Or he did lose his wing, but he didn't lose his wheel, so
yeah,
he got away with it. Sorry, I interrupted you there.
No problem. But I forgot what I was about to say.
Yeah, I think with Astro Boys, you were talking about Astro Boys and his possible lack of pace. I think the fact that, I mean, there are two things. One, it's a new game, and the second is that we are now forced no assists on SLR. It's a no assist league. Tier 1 is a no assist league, so we will see how that affects several drivers. I think Astro Boys is maybe one of those who has struggled a little bit to get to grips with the with no assists. And I think we saw that a little bit at the end of last season, and I think we're certainly seeing it at the beginning of this season with that run on the medium, certainly. At 23.0 then remains the fastest lap time so far from Triton. Hugo's is going out again for another lap. McLaren's first and third at the moment.
Spot who is missing.
And we should mention, of course, that we are missing a couple of very fast drivers for this one. Danico has been having some fun and games with Steam by the sounds of it. And he's not going to be taking part in this one, so Danny would have been, I'm sure, at the front of the grid. We're also missing Atrocity, who has been wowing everyone with his time trial times. Very fast indeed.
As we're missing Sergio's because he still didn't get his game running. I hope he will eventually. Sergio's, of course, having been the runner-up of Season 1 to Ethnic, Tiaran, who won Season 1.
Yeah.
So he's returned to the grid, but he hasn't managed to get his game running so far. We don't know what that is all about, but wish him the best of luck that he'll be able to actually compete, because we're always happy about a few more front runners. Next potential front runner who is not there today is Speedy, who is also a returning driver from Season 1, of course. I think he finished third there, behind Sergios, and he would return as well, but he can't make it today. Would actually be teammates with Sergios and Torres.
Yep, that would be a strong rider pairing for sure. Milos Martika with the 23.049, so he goes fastest of all. And as I said earlier in the session, I would, and Thimo absolutely calling that one. Generational talent does it again, but I would expect, as I said, I would expect that to be beaten by some margin. It might be beaten by this man right here, Hugos, who is on what looks like a reasonably tidy lap, certainly from the first half of it. We have Dilla, who is a reserve today, who's done
no sense. They've got the same time.
Yeah, I imagine there are rounding issues there or something like that, because Dilla, even though he's got the same time, has actually gone ahead of Triton, so it might be that he was very marginally ahead, but the game is rounding it down or rounding it up or whatever in a different way. As Hugos goes through the final couple of corners, I'm fully expecting this to be a purple lap from Hugos. It's been very tidy. He's going to cross the line, and he is going to do a 1:22.664. So he is fastest of all with 7.5 minutes to go in the session.
I imagine he might still be able to beat that. I'm going to have a quick look at the times yesterday to see what...
I think Pole was at 22.0 yesterday, from what I remember. I don't think anyone got into the 21s.
There was a 22.2 or something. I'll have a look.
Good to have you guys in chat. Danico in chat. Copy, our reigning champion, is in chat. Good to see you. Astro Boy is also in chat. Good to see you there too. Revo, it's always good to have nice positive people in chat, so welcome Revo.
Punchline aboard.
Hope you're all enjoying this qualifying session.
Pole time yesterday was indeed a 21.970.
Oh, it was a 21.9. That was Aaron, right? So that was...
Yes, it was Aaron. And
good lap
if you
from him.
compare it to Hugos has already beaten his lap time from yesterday. It's set at 22.8. Yesterday, I think he's done a 6. Yeah, he's done a 6. Car's pretty... yeah, I'm surprised he actually shows his pace he's always held. Thought he would hold back, but apparently he's ready to fight this season.
Yeah, well, he's got plenty of confidence going into this one. He said he'll be disappointed if he doesn't get top 5. I think that's it's a little bit of a tall order. There's a lot of quite talented drivers here, but certainly he's in the running for that. See everyone going into the pits now. I don't think we have too many cars on track on fast laps, as Popo Gamer does likewise. Light Cruiser seems to be on a fast one, so this might be a fast lap from Light Cruiser.
Oh damn it, Curse's time is 11 thousandths of a second faster than my time from yesterday. But I collided with radars.
That's true, that's true.
It was like 3/10. I had a progress into one. I've got to mention it so it doesn't get spun, so I have best reasons to cry.
Light Cruiser goes fastest of all. We saw the end of that lap, 22.4 from him. Let us know, by the way, how audio levels are in chat. I am actually struggling a little bit to hear Thimo. I don't know if it's my end or if it's on the broadcast as well. So let us know what it's like, and I can adjust some settings before the race. Here is Astro's attempt. This will probably be his last attempt. I don't think he'll have time to do another one unless he abandons this lap. Commentary is a bit low. Okay, good to know. I will fix that now then. Sorry for the black screen. How do I fix that? Oh, that's why. I see. All right. That is why that is the case. So it's going to be... because my game was full volume. Oh, because it's DirectX 11. That's why it's full volume. Okay. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit. I'm going to turn that down a little bit. And we're going to go back into the game. And hopefully... that might be a little bit better. Let us know what it's like now. We're going to catch the end of Astro Boy's lap. Did he cut that corner? I don't know. He might have done. Looked like it was very close.
So as well. Because there's still not been a time yet. And he exits the final corner to come across the line, and it is
fast, looks very fast. 22.2
yes.
from Astro Boys. So he's on pole. Good lap from him. I don't think he'll be able to do another one. I think that's the end of his qualifying, because he's not going to have time to come into the pits. So he's going to have to wait to see. Oh, as Miloš Martika decides to abandon his lap so he can get a fast one. He was on a hot one. He's in hot lap mode, but decided to go into the pits instead and have another run. So some other people that we haven't talked very much about that have put good laps in. Boneless Cigar in the Sauber of Alfa Romeo, I guess it is now. He is in P4.
Runner up from Tier 2, Season 2.
Yep. So he's been promoted and he's acquitting himself very well in Tier 1 so far. Slash LP, there's a bunch of cars that have done very low 23s. There's less than a tenth of a second between Slash LP in 5th, who is coming into the pit lane, and Icewind, who is on a hot lap by the looks of it, in 9th. So any of those guys are able to improve, they will gain quite a few positions. There's someone ahead of him, his teammate by the looks of it, Boneless Cigar. He's going to have to get out of the way. That might have been
Did he get
too
the
much
call?
of a cut.
Was that a toe?
I think he's probably alright, and that was... well, I mean, there's no slipstream in F1 2019, so, you know... like, there is actually slipstream. I know there's actually slipstream, but it's really, really weak. But in any case, he's going to come around the last corner here, Icewind. It's been a tidy second half of the lap by the looks of it. Looks like it's quite fast. He's going to cross the line, and he goes second on a 1 minute 22.3. So that is a very good lap from Icewind. Sauber's now, or Alfa Romeo's, 2nd and 5th.
They, of course, have been the team that is the only team to have a drivers champion in their roster so far, because both drivers champions were Sauber drivers.
Yep, absolutely. I guess they're double reigning constructors champions.
And because both of them Rosberged out of the league after their victories, no other team got them.
Yep, absolutely. You see a Mercedes going very slowly. Don't know if that was... I guess that must have been Jesse. It wasn't Astro Boys.
Yeah, Astro just heading out of the pits. Wait, why?
Yeah, I don't know why either. That's very curious, because there isn't
Maybe
enough time.
I'm pretty sure we'll see some dank corner cuts now, but it's still optimistic.
I mean, it's completely impossible. He had 50 seconds to do a lap that normally takes a minute
sorry,
20.
I shouldn't laugh at this, but it just spun in that stat.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, Astro Boys retires from the session, so we see several people starting laps now. One of them is this man here, Hugo's, who we saw was close to being a cut, but I think he probably got away with it through turn 1. Very committed through there. Going to keep an eye on the standings. Light Cruiser, of course, still in 3rd. Good stuff from him in that qualifying session. We have a Haas who does not get out of the way of Hugo's, and that will certainly be a penalty for NJJ, who got right in the way of Hugo's there. That was really unfortunate for Hugo's, not able to improve his time. NJJ, in fact, retires from the session, possibly out of shame.
I think he was about to retire, that's why he was parked.
Yeah, that's very possible.
I mean, there's rules you have to watch out that you don't do it. I think he's a reserve, because it's Inferno's seat, and I doubt Inferno's renamed himself. So I think he's a reserve.
So I assume Miloš did not suddenly lose control of his car, and instead decided to abandon that lap. Maybe he invalidated it already. We've got OceanChief coming across the line. He's posted the slowest of the lap times so far on a 25.1. He does just about manage to improve a 24.9 from him, but doesn't improve his position.
And apparently I was afraid that would happen because I saw how he retired, but actually Astro Boys also blocked someone, and that someone was cursed.
That'll be an interesting one then.
Judging by the chat, there's some fun games going on right now.
Yeah, seems like it. So Astro Boy's on pole, but we don't know exactly what happened there with Kirst. So, but in any case, good qualifying from Astro Boys. 22-2. Nobody in the 21s, which does surprise me. I think we had several drivers with a shot at it, but nobody managing to do it. Icewind with a fantastic performance in the Alfa Romeo. P2 for him. And Light Cruiser and Hugo's on the second row of the grid.
Also, no games with different tire compounds, even though the tire deck is so high. I mean, the gap, the performance gap between tires is also higher now. So
yeah, it is. I think it's more than a second at Melbourne, so you really have to commit to it. You have to commit to starting close to the back of the grid if you want us to go on those mediums.
So, now that there is no championship to talk about yet, I think this is the time to talk about strategy.
Yeah.
There's a formation lap, so good time for that. Thursday, in Tier 2, it was basically split between 3 parties. Those who did a 1-stop from softs to hards, and those who did a 2-stop, and those who bottled it in some way and had to come to the pits, and had random strategies. And I was one of the softs to hard runners, and I can tell you from firsthand, it's really, you have to look out for the tires. I didn't push at all in my stints, I think. It might be that I'm just not very good with tires, but I felt like, judging by Hugos's numbers, he told me throughout the race he was struggling as well, so I'm not the only one who had an issue there. And in the end, Aaron won on the 2-stop, but Onion Bargy was just there and could have also taken it. So I don't know, and I think you put it very nicely in Discord some days ago. In a vacuum, the 2-stop is probably quicker, but you have to consider that if you pit twice, you have 2 times the risk of getting stuck behind someone, some sort of train.
Yeah.
And that, of course, will hamper your lap times, heat up your tires, and you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think and I think, by the way, to your previous point about why we're seeing everyone go on the soft tires, I think that's really why, is that there really isn't a very big advantage at all to going medium to hard here, because A, you can go soft to hard anyway, and B, the 2-stop might actually be faster, even with the fact that it's 50% and you have effectively double the time in the pits that you would have in a 100% race, because the race is half as long. Even with that, I think the 2-stop is at least on par and maybe even slightly faster, but of course it means that you have to pit a second time, you have to put on medium tyres a second time, and you have to maybe overtake on track cars that are running hard tyres, possibly old hard tyres, and Melbourne is not an easy track to overtake on, especially in 2019 with very limited slipstream.
I knew it was coming. I mean, obviously. Yeah, it's really tough, but I mean, it's kind of realistic in the sense that you don't get held up by dirty air, but the missing slipstream makes up for that missing realism on that part. So I actually, in my career, I feel just like it looks on I feel like just what it looks like on TV, but that doesn't matter now for the start, because for the first time the lights are going on.
There we go, there's a camera angle. 5 lights, and we are underway in F1 2019 in SLR Tier 1. Very good start from Icewind by the looks of it. He looked like he was alongside there as he goes into turn 1. He's not alongside though, Astro Boys has it, at least for the time being. Light Cruiser P2, oh, Light Cruiser just gets pushed off a little bit by Icewind there. And Boneless Cigar drops right to the back of the field, unfortunately for him. Hugo's back up to P3 now, after that little bit of a collision between Icewind and Light Cruiser, and off in the background, who was that? Was that Triton is off?
Triton!
In the
Triton
McLaren.
Dilly is also off. Popo gets collected. There's some big carnage right now.
Oh, and Hugo's made a mistake.
That's in the back, that's Boneless Cigar.
Hugo's lost a place to Kirst there as well, and Hugo's making another mistake and losing another position to Pretoria. So a poor start from Hugo's after initially getting off the line very well, but up front Astro Boys has a little bit of a gap right now. It's almost a second already to Icewind, who was very forceful in turn 1, pushing Light Cruiser to the outside of the corner. And now I think he's going to struggle to keep the Williams behind him a little bit. He's got, of course, a long race to go. 29 laps in this Australian Grand Prix. And Light Cruiser all over the back of Icewind. Kirst having a very good start to the race. He's in 4th.
Yeah, very impressive. Down the other, oh, Nick had some sort of incident. I wrote.
Oh yeah, I missed that completely. Oh, as Light Cruiser almost loses it in the last corner. He got very, very sideways. He might come under attack from Milos, but I don't think he will.
Slash goes to the pits.
So Slash must have lost his front wing somewhere. Oh no, Kirst spins! Kirst spins in turn 2! Oh no! He was having such a good start to the race, and now he's having to do a 14-point turn to stay out of everyone's way. Oh, well.
There's his teammate coming, and now they will have to do a charge from all the way back. There's a huge gaggle in the midfield currently in Sector 1 that has Triton, OceanChief, and it's pretty chaotic. Jesse's at the front of it, and now Triton tries to send one down the inside. He does. Pope wants to get past OceanChief. Then Jesse. Wow. Jesse with a huge tank stopper. He doesn't feel too good at the moment, I would imagine.
Defending from Popo as well. Is he going to push Popo to the outside? Of course he is. Oh, and spins off into the wall.
Loses it. OceanChief might be able to get the run on Popo down here. He's in the hypothetical slipstream and taps the wall a bit. Dilly looking hungry behind them. We've got yellows. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know why we have yellows. I'm looking on the timing sheets for somebody falling down the order. I can't see anyone.
Oh, and JJ off track. In the Haas. And I think, yeah, he's missing a full front wing.
Oh, he's completely missing his front wing. Yeah, absolutely. Astro Boy's with the fastest lap, so he's pulling out a little bit of a gap to Icewind as the Haas has to stay out of the Force India's way there as they will go through the tight left-hander. 3 seconds for Icewind in P2, so that's a big deal for him.
Out of what car's way?
Out of, there you go, the Racing Point. Out of the Racing Point.
The Sports Paces Score Racing Point Formula 1 team.
Okay, I think we'll stick to Racing Point. I think for all of our sanity, I think that's the best thing for the time being. But,
I must say, no shade thrown on Icewind, but I didn't expect him to be able to hang on to the back of Astro Boy as good as he does right now. It's truly impressive. I think he probably got some tips at the Alfa Romeo Sauber garage from what Edmund Copy did.
Yep.
Because he's currently trying to hang on to their legacy.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've seen with Icewind, I mean, he has been getting faster. He's been putting in the hours and putting in the practice, and he did do a 21 in time trial, so he's certainly one of the faster drivers here today.
21 flat?
No, something in the 21s. Okay. So, but certainly that is good enough to be at the front at the moment, and he is not really putting pressure on Astro Boys, and he got a 3-second penalty as well, so he's got a little bit of pressure from behind, but certainly he's showing that qualifying wasn't an accident. There was no fluke there with Icewind's qualifying.
Popo on the main straight on Triton for P7. He gets out of the spot behind the McLaren car that had meaning in past games. And also he's proving to me that the rev bug does still exist.
Okay, I don't have the rev bug, which is very nice because the rev bug sucks. But yeah, not able to get it done on Triton that time. Not quite close enough, but he's certainly putting pressure on the McLaren driver in front. Baz, I was about to mention Baz because he was on medium tyres. Oh, as we see Light Cruiser making a mistake, and what happened there? Did he spin? He must have spun in the right-hander.
Pretorius is now on P3, and I want to mention Pretorius was a Tier 2 driver last season.
Yep. So he's another one who's made the jump up. Light Cruiser really struggling with those tyres. I wonder if he's used his tyres to the point where he can't really lean on the power anymore as much as he would want to. He's got Hugo's just behind him. I wonder if he will pit within the next couple of laps. He might well do. There's no real advantage to staying on the softs for very long, other than if you're trying to do a one-stopper. You see him go very wide. Hugo's going very wide there as well in the last corner. Just missing the wall.
approaching the start-finish straight now, is the fighting group between the left. Oh, Bass is rejoined now.
Oh, he's back. He's just been overtaken
and
by
he's
Triton.
Just in the spot, and let's hope he doesn't solidify now. Okay, he doesn't. And oh, Popo and Triton both got turn 1 wrong there.
Yeah, they did. So Dilla all over the back of OceanChief as well in that Renault. OceanChief deciding not to defend as they head up towards turn 3. He's going to let the racing point by the looks of it. He does. And he's got Nick, who's recovering. Did Nick start? Yeah, he did start on hard tyres. I missed that at the time.
No clue.
He must have started. He must have started on hard tyres because his tyres are the same age as everyone else's. So Nick actually having a reasonably good start to this race. He's quite a way behind the leaders in terms of time. In fact, he's 21 behind.
Passed by Popo.
Behind Astro Boys. And yeah, Triton did get passed by Popo. When did that happen?
Quite a margin. It just happened. Quite a margin. Maybe he made a mistake. Cursed and NJJ are fighting it out for P13. So Battle of Titans. Bundesliga also hanging on to this. This is P13 down to P15. Yeah, P15, but they are still fighting.
So once again, Iceland with DRS, and he's sticking in that DRS. He's had a very good start to this race. The first pit stops come in. These are the first scheduled pit stops, at least. Light Cruiser and Hugo's deciding both to pit. That might be bad news for Hugo's, because I would have thought he would have wanted to be on a different, or pit on a different lap to Light Cruiser, because he's just going to end up behind him again. So we'll see what happens there. Triton falling off the back of Popo. Popo showing some good pace in that Haas on the used tyres. Head on lap 6 into turn number 3. Up front, Astro Boys is just sort of hovering about a second in front of Icewind. I don't know if he'll have DRS this time, but certainly at the moment, Icewind looking like he is, if not a match, then at least competitive with the leader of this race so far. Nick making it around the outside of Baz. Baz actually isn't in the car, which is why. So he's still ghosted, but he is right on the back of OceanChief.
Speaking of not being in the car, I can deliver some insight into what happened in quali there. Apparently NJJ spun off and pressed retire the car off track.
Oh.
And the car drove itself back on track.
Yeah.
To be able to drive itself back off track again. To retire.
That's really unfortunate in that case.
Yeah, he didn't have any control over the car, but I'm afraid it happened, and I'm afraid there are rules that prohibit from doing that. But he took full blame, so I guess he'll probably get away. He'll probably get a penalty, but
Baz apparently can't take control, which, according to Danny in chat, so
cool.
That is unfortunate for him, so looks like he is going to be retiring from this race in fairly short order, unfortunately. We've got a battle here on track between Ocean and Nick. Nick on the hard tyres, of course, Ocean on the worn soft tyres.
Also, Cursed is trying to get back past Boneless Cigar, and now he leaves the slipstream towards the inside.
And a good battle here between Light Cruiser and Pretorius. Light Cruiser getting it done on the inside in turn 4 there, so Light Cruiser on those medium tyres up to 8th place on the road. It's a net, 4th, something like that?
Yes. Curse got the pass down. So nice work from him, even though he's all the way down. But this season, he's not all the way down because he doesn't have it in him to get up the order. It is just because of one unfortunate mistake he made on lap 2, and he could have been a good chunk further up the order.
Yep, absolutely. Icewind pits from P2, so about 2 seconds or so behind Astro Boys, I think he was when he pitted, maybe even less than that. So he's going to come out on the medium tyres. Potential undercut, depending on how fast Astro Boys is. Nick goes to the outside against OceanChief, but again, he's got a full battery at the moment, does Nick? So, and just getting a little bit of oversteer there on the exit of turn 2. Did manage to catch it, but any chance he might have had of getting past into turn 3 will have completely gone with that. As Hugos sends one up the inside of Light Cruiser into turn 3. Very nicely done. Well defended though by Light Cruiser. Oh, but then he pushed him off track.
Caught
Into
though.
turn 4. Hugos didn't suffer too badly from it, but that was certainly
With a penalty.
an unfortunate move. Astro Boys
Out
with
of
a
the
penalty,
fast
yeah.
chicane. So it's pretty. It's not that hard to imagine what happened there.
Yeah, well, I guess he knows he has to push. He's 25 seconds ahead of Icewind. I don't know if something happened to Icewind or if that's just how long a pit stop takes, but certainly Astro Boys will be pushing hard. He knows what the situation is with an undercut. I'm sure he'll be pitting this lap.
Stays out.
Stays out, wow. That is
Just
very
to
surprising.
Take a dump on your prediction.
So a 29.0 that last lap from Astro Boys, which is 1.8 seconds slower than his fastest lap of the race so far. And that is going to be quite some feat if he manages to stay ahead of Icewind with those older tyres.
Speaking of fastest laps, of course they give points, you know, if you're within the top 10. And I imagine they will be set later in the race, but unlike in real life, I doubt everyone in the game is always just controlling their pace and not pushing, and can just flick a switch and then suddenly set fastest lap times. So might not be like in real life, where the fastest lap times always get thrown around in the last 3 laps of a race. And more like who gets the softest compound with the lowest wear, the latest point in the race, and of course who can pull it off.
Oh, Nick does get the move done on OceanChief
Speaking of pulling it off, yeah.
into turn 8. So good stuff from him. OceanChief under pressure from Icewind, who's on fresh tyres. This is bad news for Icewind because he will not want to be held up behind these guys. He does manage to get Ocean at least, but he's now behind Nick in the Ferrari, and Nick isn't going to be too keen to jump out of the way on those hard tyres. Icewind is going to have to make this move. One thing we haven't mentioned yet, Icewind certainly will be on a 2-stopper with those medium tyres, so he will have to pit again. Astro Boy is going on to mediums as well.
Yeah, he will have to do the same.
Is he trying? Well, I don't know. It's end of lap 9. No, end of lap 8. Yeah, that's too long, isn't it? 21 laps is too long.
It's been close from lap 11 when we tried it.
There is Astro Boys coming out of the pit lane. We see it from the onboard of Icewind. Icewind does send it. Oh, and the contact between Dilla.
That's the chat. Oh, never mind. I got a bit too excited about that one. But still, Icewind closed in on him a good chunk there. He's now keeping the inside. Nick not trying anything too ruthless in the background.
So Astro Boys does keep the lead. Good stuff from him. He judged that to absolute perfection. Excuse me. Getting a little bit forceful there with Dilla as well, who now is under pressure from Nick, and I think there's a little bit of contact there between those two. Nick going to try and hang it around the outside. Dilla on those very, very old soft tyres. Nick, I think, is going to be able to brake later. He does into turn 8. So Nick up to 3rd on the road on those hard tyres. Good drive from him from the back of the grid.
Yugas is also still struggling a lot behind Light Cruiser. It just doesn't get past.
Yeah, well, this is the train.
I saw this is a huge train and I love it.
As Hugos has a look at the inside. This time he sends one and leaves absolutely no doubt. Oh, but then Light Cruiser hangs it around the outside and does manage to hang in there. And he's going to have the inside for the left-hander, is he? Is he going to be able to brake late enough?
Will brake later. Hugos, oh.
Very close as we see.
To the curbs, and now his run will be better.
Dilla and Ocean both diving into the pits.
Better a lot. It's a touching range now, but he'll have to try the outside. And Hugos, moves a bit to the outside there. No room
and spinning into the wall goes Pretorius. No, it's Pretorius. Who Ocean pitted, Pretorius did not, and Astro Boy spun as well. Astro Boy spun in turn 2 while all of that was happening.
Oh my god!
He lost the lead. I don't know if he's lost any of his front wing. It looks like the car, trying to see from the onboard, it is understeering quite badly. I think he's lost his front wing, and he's going to have to pit again here, Astro Boys.
Now you'll have to make it to the end. Maybe pit for hards now.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
No redemption for last season where he collided with OceanChief, of course. when he tried to lapse at OceanChief, and OceanChief kind of moved on the braking into Astro Boy's way. So that was on him, but I'm afraid we didn't see it, but I guess this was on him. And that puts Iceman in a perfect spot to push for victory. And honestly, I think Nick is also maybe not in the race for the victory, but if he stretches those hards long enough, he might be able to. I mean, he will pull off the one stop.
Yep.
So he's in an actual P2 right now.
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, he's got much worse tyres than the people behind him, so he's going to have to do some defensive work if he wants to keep them behind him. But certainly he's going to be on the better tyres come the end of the race, either the softs or probably the mediums towards the end of the race. Maybe the softs, though, I don't know. It'll depend what he wants to do. But certainly Nick is in play for a good result here. He's played the strategy absolutely perfectly, starting from the back of the grid on those hard tyres, and hasn't stopped yet, and at the moment is looking like he's in a very good position. Astro's staying out, by the way, so his damage obviously isn't that bad, but I'm pretty sure he does have some damage. He's fallen off the back just a little bit of Light Cruiser.
When I go on board, I cannot spot front wing on that car. Maybe it's just how the Mercedes is built, but on the other cars you can kind of see through the suspension.
Yeah, I don't know either. Although he is now just about barely in DRS range, well, not anymore, of Light Cruiser. And Light Cruiser is right on the back of Hugo's as well now. He's in DRS. And down towards turn 13. Icewind, though, still with a pretty significant lead in this race. 4 seconds over Nick, who's on a different strategy. 6 seconds over Hugo's, who's on the same strategy. And he's got slightly fresher tyres than Hugo's as well, and Hugo's is having to defend from Light Cruiser and Astro Boys. So lap 13, Astro Boys obviously his damage not that bad if he has any, because he does the fastest lap of the race. He's on a charge now in that Mercedes. It'll be very interesting to see. He's on 4 laps fresher tyres than both Hugo's and Light Cruiser. And whether he's able to get past or not. Not easy to get past. It's especially not easy to get past when the car in front of you also has DRS, which is the case with Light Cruiser being within a second of Hugo's.
Yeah, you really don't get a move in normally. Except if your pace advantage is absolutely smothering, but it's it doesn't look enough at the moment, especially because Astro just made another little mistake and Yugos gets it a bit wrong there, so Cruiser with a good run, Astro with a better run.
Hugo's having to defend here. Cruiser goes to the outside, and Astro Boy's sending on.
Astro with a big send. That's not ending well, and I think he got what he deserved there.
Yeah. Afraid so. I think
that was pretty short-sighted, I would say.
Well, I don't think he meant to do that. I think he just outbraked himself and missed his braking because he was watching the crash happen as Light Cruiser manages to stay ahead of Hugo's. But yeah, Astro Boy's with another incident, and he's got Popo all over the back of him now. He's going to have to defend if he wants to keep his 5th position. He's decided not to. So Popo up the inside into turn 1. Is he going to be able to get the cut back? He's also got Triton there. Oh, he runs out of road there on the exit of turn 2. Triton, I think, is going to be passed here. We're going to see a McLaren on the left very shortly indeed. And yep, there he is. Triton going around the outside into turn 3.
Really swings around. And is it looking for Curse right now? Oh, he's left the session. That's very cool.
Yeah, rip Milosh.
His game crashed.
Oh, his game crashed. That's unfortunate.
That's a... I don't know. That's just what I guess happened.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Do you think the reason that everyone is going softs, medium, softs, or at least I think they do, it might also be softs, medium, medium. But if they are going softs, medium, softs, do you think it's because of the fastest lap point or some higher things I do not understand?
I mean, I think that's a small consideration. I think it's faster though, honestly. I think the 2-stop is just fast.
I mean, doing the softs at the end instead of doing like soft, medium.
Oh yeah, yeah, that might be, because yeah, there's no real difference between those two strategies, and
Yeah, exactly.
I mean there are some small
Everyone.
trade-offs. Like if you're on softs for the medium stint, you're more likely to be in traffic, and it means that you will have an easier time then getting through the field potentially. But I mean, yeah, these are really small trade-offs, as Hugo's almost outbreaks himself into the back of Light Cruiser there for P3. He's still fighting hard with the Williams in front of him. But yeah, I don't think there's any sort of big galaxy brain thing about it. I think they're both about as fast as each other, and maybe the fastest lap point just sort of tips people into doing the softs at the end.
Yeah, I was wondering because everyone seems to do it, and I do not see any real advantage apart from the fastest lap one. That's why I wanted to have your perspective on it, if there's something I'm missing, but apparently that's that. Maybe it's also just because everyone got it as a proposed strategy and then they just clicked it. That's also very much possible.
Yeah, it is. It's I mean, I guess the other thing is that you have then the flexibility if you're on the mediums for the middle stint. If your tyre wear is worse than expected, you can go on to the mediums for the final stint as well.
That's the point as well, yeah. Also, I mean, you're just in general more flexible because you already have both tyres in there.
Yeah,
On double
absolutely.
softs, you're a bit more. Yeah, I mean, you will pit for the second or third set.
So, still watching this battle for third at the moment. We've got Astro Boys, who's on the back of Triton down in, well, P6 and 7, those two are now.
Actually, if I judge the race director right, by the way, at the moment our race leader is Nick, because I think Icewind has got 9 seconds.
He has 9. I thought he had 6. He has 9 then, so that's a big deal. So yeah, I think with that, I think Nick is definitely in contention to win this race, because he's going to be stopping soon and putting those medium tyres on probably, and so is Icewind.
Yeah, Nick's been a very how do you say unruly? No, I don't know. He's been very nice to the track limits, let's say it that way. Very behaved, well behaved is the word. Because
absolutely.
he hasn't picked up a single warning yet, and that is at Australia, where normally if you don't pick up warnings, that means you're not pushing enough. But look at his times, look at where he is at the moment. He is P2. He is pushing, I guess, enough at least.
Yeah, I think so.
He's just very, very clean this race. Very impressive performance from him.
Yeah,
he might
it is.
actually still be. I mean, he is still in the running, because it will not. I mean, he'll suffer for the last, I guess, 5 laps, or yeah, 5 laps or so. He didn't.
Hugo's pits from P4. The other thing is that while that was happening, I think we missed /LP having some sort of an incident in the first sector on the last lap. We didn't look at it on camera, but we saw him lose a bunch of time, and he's dropped way back from Dilla now, so I think he's probably going to be pitting at the end of this. No, never mind. He decides not to pit at the end of this lap. So he stays out.
Sorry. Black Cruiser also only with just 1 warning. What I was about to say, Nick probably has got like 2 or 3 laps remaining on these on these hards before he'll get some softs, because normally you do like 8 laps on softs. They're capable of doing 8 laps, but then there's the quali wear on them, which probably counts for like...
Some sort of a lag incident there with Hugo's and Dilla. Dilla, I think, lagged out a little bit, and Hugo's able to get past him. He won't be complaining about that. Certainly, he essentially got a free position there because Dilla lagged out in front of him.
And that means Nick will be able to stretch softs till the end longer than 8 laps, probably like 9 or 10. So, oh, and he already pits now. Is this going to be a stop?
So he's putting the mediums
this
on.
Might be mediums, yeah.
I would have thought so, yeah. I mean, the thing about the hards is that they are so slow, especially worn hards. It's so slow. We had Light Cruiser all over the back of him as well. He is putting this. No, he's putting the mediums on. It bugged out for me there by showing the softs. But no, he's putting the mediums on by the looks of it. So Light Cruiser being held in the pits behind
choice, Triton is lagging around, and Astro just ran up towards and Triton goes slack into Astra boys. It's not very cool. Astra having a very
3 more seconds for Icewind.
oh.
So he's up to 12 now, which is a lot of penalties.
I think Astra might just be not in a good mental position right now. If you go on spot mistake after mistake, he's already hit the grass twice this lap and he's in sector 2.
I'm nearly sure that he's missing some front wing somewhere, because he is understeering so much. Maybe he's had another incident that we didn't see. Maybe he hit the back of Triton in that incident or something like that. I don't know.
He goes it for sure, but maybe when we weren't watching.
Yeah, like he's understeering a lot as Triton makes a mistake in the chicane there. Didn't manage to catch it.
A very interesting conversation with the wall.
Oh dear.
Didn't look like any part of his front wing came off there. In real life, your tire would have been gone.
So down the back straight, Dilla on the back of Light Cruiser. On the worst tyres, of course, so Light Cruiser managed to get past. So Triton pits from what was third. Icewind pits from the lead as well. He's going to come out not very far, actually, behind Astra Boys. Astra Boys, though, with another 3-second penalty for one. And also, of course, Astra Boys will have to pit again on those medium tyres. Hugo's with the fastest lap of the race, though. He's on a charge on those fresh mediums. 1 minute 26.3.
Already 3 penalties for Astro, and it's probably for the better that his off-track excursions, at least the ones I saw, usually don't gain him time because he's been off-track a lot. Not trying to bash him, but
yeah,
not his race.
He certainly. Well, he still might get some good points from it, depending on how fast he can be with that. What I assume is a damaged front wing. Oh, and he bounces off the wall there on the exit. Yeah, it is.
Just from judging from that, normal car would have gotten that done. And look how careful he is here. It's and
more for Icewind.
15 seconds now,
and 15.
And 2 days ago, I was one of the boys with the most penalties, and I had 6 seconds.
Yep. So Hugo's at the moment. What's Hugo's pen? Hugo's doesn't have any penalties, does he?
He's actually in the.
I don't think I've seen any. So Hugo's is.
This might actually be in the running, yeah.
Yeah, I think the battle for the win here, and we should also talk about Popo Gamer, who, even though he has to pit, will put fresher tyres on at the end, and maybe will another fastest lap from Hugo's.
Nick and Hugo's chasing each other with fastest laps.
Yeah, good stuff. But Popo will put the soft tyres on, I would have thought, at the end of the race, which means that he's going to be fast at the end of the race. So we might have a really good finish here. I think Icewind looks like he's going to win on track, but I don't think he's going to win on the score sheet because he has so many penalties.
15 seconds is just too much.
Yeah, I think the battle for the win at the moment is this one right here that we're watching, 4th and 5th on track, Hugo's and Nick, between the two of them.
I agree with you on that. Popo will come out around Dilla, and there's someone off. That's Icewind!
Icewind off. I was wondering why the camera didn't. Yeah, I was wondering why the camera didn't go to him, but I don't know what happened. Whether that was some sort of an incident. Did he doesn't have a front wing anymore, so that's him out of the running, I'm afraid. It was such a good performance in the first half of this race for Icewind, but it has fallen apart at the end. So Icewind now will have to go slowly back to the pit lane where he'll have to put on some soft tyres to go to the end of the race, but he is going to be struggling even to score points in this one with the number of penalties that he's got. Popo Gamer pits. Astro Boys. How many laps would that be on the medium tyres if he goes to the end of the race? That would be 20. Is that too many?
That is too many, I'm sure.
I don't know.
So yes, it won't be enough for a victory because he's already got 9 seconds.
Yeah, he does have penalties, yeah. But he's in. If he's able to do that, Icewind with the speeding penalty.
I feel so sorry for him right now.
It's all fallen apart for him. At such good pace, and he's not been able to convert it really into any meaningful points, or maybe even any points at all, with the way he's fallen down the order.
I mean, that's the curse of racing in the end. you can be the fastest driver out there on track, but if you don't convert it into consistent laps in OceanChief or on race day, then it doesn't really matter too much. It's not. Oh no! Just cut the corner coming out of the pits. We're at 23 now.
Oh,
Just want to give him a hug right now. Must feel bad.
Nick is desperately trying to get into Hugo's DRS here, and he has managed it, but then he outbraked himself in turn 13 and made a mistake, so he's going to have lost all of that advantage again. So real nip and tuck between these two drivers at the moment, Hugo's and Nick. Both, I think they're both reserves for this race. I think that's right. Certainly putting on a good show.
Yes.
I just wonder if Astro is pitting again. I suspect he is not pitting again. Hugo's with a penalty though. I think that's his first. So he's obviously trying pretty hard. Three for light cruiser as well.
Nick's still without a warning, and Hugo's with a penalty now. Light cruiser is currently sitting at one penalty as well.
Okay, so Nick, from the back of the grid, might be winning this race. It would be a very, very impressive performance if he were to do that. I think he's favourite for this race right now, with how he's been driving.
After getting disqualified, it wasn't even entirely his fault. But I guess it wasn't his fault that he got disqualified in qualifying, and it would be. I mean, it would be something if he won this race, and it would certainly make it easy for us to pick a driver of the day, I imagine.
Yep, I would have thought so.
Normal struggles.
It's been a very impressive performance. Hugo's makes a mistake there in the left-hander. He outbraked himself just a little bit. That might give Nick... Oh no, that's not where the DRS detection is it? So I don't think Nick will have DRS for the front straight, but he's certainly within a second now. The gap a second and a half to Astro Boys, who has 7 laps to go if he wants to do 20 laps on those medium tyres. Yeah, Ani Mbaji in chat saying that it is possible to do 20 laps. I think it is as well. I think it's very marginal, but I think it is possible if you're nice to the tyres. But then again, he did spin, so he might not be nice to the tyres. But we will see. When we come to the end of this race, Popo is making his way back through the field as well on those soft tyres. As I mentioned before, he's got Dilla in front of him right now, who's on very old hard tyres, so that should be easy pickings for Popo as soon as he gets a run in DRS, but of course he will have to execute. There's only a couple of places you can overtake, even with that big a tyre discrepancy for Popo.
Dilla has got 1 penalty, I think, and he has also really good having a really good race. A quiet one, but a good one. He's pulling up off the 1 stop so far, but now he's under attack from Popo Gamer, so that might also be something to look at. But for now, I think what is more interesting should be the fight for the lead right now, and Astro will go to the end, I'm pretty sure now, because it's 6 laps to go. At some point you should come to the pits.
Yep, I think it's get to the end or bust for Astro Boys. He's going to be struggling as Popo, I think, will get that move done on the outside of Dilla. He does. Oh, but then he makes a mistake. And Dilla gets the position back, at least for the time being. I'm trying to keep across 2 battles that are happening at the same time here. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world, but Dilla again.
Not at the front yet, but now Astro's run has been fairly poor, and Hugo's swerves around there a bit, but all fine until now. But that will put Hugo's under attack from Nick even more. I mean, Nick doesn't have to make the pass, but it's also nice to win on track, because if the race winner on track and the one after in the classification aren't the same, fans might get upset because FIA is biased on things. And I did have to take that. Now Hugo's on the outside, sector 3 DRS straight. Can he hang about the outside?
Yep.
Runs up onto the curb, and it looks like he's pulled it off. Astro sticks his nose in that spin.
Astro again overreaching with the aggression there, trying to keep on the inside of Hugo's, and instead he goes around once again, I think for the third time in this race. And he really now is going to be struggling to get to the end on those tyres. As we see the battle behind him as well. Popo still hasn't managed to get past Dilla just yet.
But Dilla might get past Astro right about now, or soon enough. And that would put him in a provisional P4. I'll look at Popo penalties while Popo will have a look at Dilla.
Oh, I don't know about that. Don't know about that.
Side pod. Glad there's no side pod damage in this game. That would change things up fairly.
Oh, Popo just not quite committed enough with these moves, I'm afraid. It's going to cost him a lot of time.
He's like me with cheaties. Popo hasn't got a penalty, Dilla does.
It's not so
Technically,
much.
Popo currently.
Okay, he manages to get past there. I don't know how much wheel banging there was. It looked like there was a little bit there between the two of them, but he does manage to get the move done finally, and now he can chase after Astro, who's on those very old medium tyres.
In other news, Triton still does exist. We haven't given him a lot of screen time so far.
What on earth is happening here? 8th, 9th and 10th all absolutely together through the very tight right-hander. Kirst has managed to make his way past both Boneless and Ocean. Didn't see exactly how, but he is on better tyres than the two of them, so perhaps not all that surprising. Meantime, back up front, Nick is in DRS range here of Hugo's. He doesn't need to do anything other than be within 3 seconds of him, of course. Looks like he is going to complete the last to first challenge in this one. Fantastic drive from Nick in the Ferrari.
He really has. Triton with a lot of penalties, so he won't be getting up into P6. Also not even... Oh, maybe Astro... Man, now that will be close between Astro and Triton towards the end. I think Astro's got 12 and...
Astro has
Triton 9 seconds.
I have a feeling it's even more than 12 for Astro. It's a lot of penalties that he's got. So I think he is going to fall a long way down the order. Still 3.5 laps to go, of course. It might be that he is... might be that he's not able to get to the end on those tyres. We will see. He's going to have to defend here, though, from Popo. In fact, he decides not to defend from Popo. Popo sends it up the inside, and he overdoes it this time and spins. And that is a disaster for him. Just a little bit of impatience from Popo. Doesn't manage to get the move done cleanly and loses 2 places because of it.
Was it to Astro?
Was it what?
Was it a move on Astro?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, on the inside of turn 13.
Now, that is unlucky considering he didn't have to get past on track.
Yeah, and again, you just got to be, you're on much better tyres. You just got to be a little bit more patient than that. Astro had every right to turn in how he did, and Popo just losing the car with a little bit of wheel banging. I think he went in a little bit deep as well on those soft tyres, and that was why there was contact.
Yeah, Nick with a total of 1 warning now. Still trading Newgos within a second, and I've checked for Astro and Triton. It's 12 seconds for both of them.
Okay, so Triton is gonna, I think, fall behind Popo by the sounds of it, and certainly Dilla will finish ahead of, I think, the pair of them. A very good drive from him quietly, Dilla. He's a reserve today, and showing that he certainly can compete with SLR's finest, as Triton sends one around the outside. Very nicely done. Does he have the run on the exit? I think a little bit of lag sorted that one out for him. Dilla lagging behind him, and Triton getting the move done, so he is up to 5th. Maybe he can put some pressure on Astro for these final 2 laps.
Oh, yeah, okay, I thought you meant stay ahead, but
no. I think he's certainly going to stay ahead because Dilla's on much worse tyres.
And the penalties.
And the penalties as well, yeah.
No, he'll drop back. But so, and Dilla with a very quiet debut. He's currently technically running in P4.
And yet, for what it's worth in chat, I think Onion is right. I think Popo broke too late and hit the side of Astro because he did. But I'll have to rewatch it again.
I think it was Astro's right to turn in there, so...
Yep, I think so too. Oh, 3 more for Astro though.
Oh, and that's the pressure. That's some pressure on him, considering Triton is within 3 seconds behind him. They might even... I think they will drop behind... Yeah, they will drop behind Popo, won't they?
Yep, I think so too. Yeah, Astro is, what, 10 seconds or so ahead of Popo at the moment.
He's got 15 seconds of penalties and Triton's got 12. I'm a bit... OceanChief with a penalty now as well.
Yeah, OceanChief's had a few over the course of the race, unfortunately for him, so he might still get that point though. He's 19 seconds ahead of Pretorius.
He's got 3 penalties. Pretorius himself has got 1, so only 6 seconds lost there to his Renault teammate. I doubt OceanChief possesses what it takes to lose 12 seconds in 1 lap.
Yeah, well, we know how much OceanChief loves his
With all
points.
due respect. Exactly.
So he's going to be a happy boy at the end of this one. Triton, oh, did Astro get loose there on the exit of turn 2? I think he did. He hugs the inside. Is he going to be able to hold it on the inside through turn 3? Again, oh, a little bit of wheel banging. He sends Triton around.
As well.
Oh dear, Astro boys, that was not very friendly. Contact between the two of them.
I think we know what Astro's concerns for this race were, because he basically said that in Grand Prix mode he basically couldn't complete a lap, and that's when people called him out that he is sandbagging. But I think we know what he meant now. He's been a bit all over the place this race. I mean, I'm sure, judging by what he did last season, he'll be able to sort these issues up, but I think he'll take away some penalties, or at least a penalty for this race.
Yeah, we'll certainly be keeping the FIA busy, but around the last corner now, Hugos is going to finish ahead of Nick, and in fact he gives it to him, does he? As they cross the line side by side, Nick is going to win the race from last on the grid. A fantastic performance from Nick ahead of the 2SRL opener tomorrow as well, of course. He's getting his eye in early on this one. Hugos finishing second, 3 seconds behind with those penalties. Light Cruiser third, a good performance from him in the Williams. Dillo with an excellent fourth. Triton does finish ahead of Astro Boys anyway, but Popo finishes ahead of both of them in P5. Then it's Triton 6th, Astro Boys 7th. Milos Martic is going to cross the line. He doesn't have a bunch of penalties, and he will keep that 8th place ahead of Boneless Cigar. And the final point goes to the Chief himself. And that, oh, and something I should check as well, is who has the fastest lap in the top 10. Now, something I don't know, Pretorius has the fastest lap, he finishes 11th. Does that mean that the person with the second fastest lap...
No, I think there's no point.
There is no point then, okay, so Pretorius with the fastest lap, but he doesn't get any points. The second fastest lap was from Popo on those soft tyres, but we don't think that he gets a point for that. What a fantastic first race. Lots of incident, lots of drama, and if this is what 2019 in SLR has to offer, sign me up. That was really fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was quite a bit reminiscent of the old days, because it was a pretty chaotic race, but in a fun way. I mean, I certainly enjoyed that. There was some moves that were questionable, but I think we got a fun package in the total of the race.
Yep, I think we did as well. And I mean, is it anything other than a formality for me to ask you who your driver of the day was, Thimo?
Yeah, I mean, let's just hand it over to Kirst.
Well, Kirst might not be our driver of the day, but one of the Ferraris is our driver of the day, Nick. Nick with the last to first performance. I think he's going to get...
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know you really want Kirst to get driver of the day, but he bowed it on lap 2, so, you know.
I will say Milos's defense actually, which should play for in his favor as well, is that he actually also had a piston ring issue. it turns out. So
Is that right?
pretty-
Okay, well
getting
that's
the car
that's
home.
very
Oh, not
unfortunate.
again.
It's very lucky that both Ferraris didn't have that. It's,
I know, right? But yeah, he got it home. So special credit to him as well.
Oh, my game just crashed for the first time.
Oh no! So
What an
Thimo
end to the race.
Thimo is Thimo is gone. Crab Rave. But he's still here in the commentary box, so it's okay. That was, by the way, the voice that came into our channel is Chief Piston Operator for the Ferrari F1 team in SLR, Mr. That Bantz. How do you feel the race went for your boys today, Bantz? He's gone. Oh, he's gone.
No, I'm here.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm sorry.
he's here. Okay. How did that go for your boys at Ferrari today?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. That's pretty good. I mean, I will have to say for Popo, Karma, because he took the tag off, so clearly he didn't have the luck
That's true.
with it. So, but it's like as we have to do a Earl, you can't drive well. So, no, I'm joking. Anyway, yeah, but Astro was good today, wasn't he?
Astro, yeah, I mean he had some incidents, didn't he? He had some struggles. Let's not be let's not be too harsh on him. He's he's obviously. I mean, he said he was struggling before the race, and I'm sure he's going to be he's going to be investigated with some of the stewards. I think are going to be having a look at some of his driving. But yeah, he didn't necessarily have the cleanest race out there. I think that's fair to say.
It's like
First race on the game, innit?
cool. Ocean just told me there's plenty of people in Gentleman's Lounge to be interviewed.
Yeah,
there was no
who's
one
gonna-
in. I confronted him and now he.
I mean,
Okay.
Nick has
And now
told me,
Pretorius.
but I'm not gonna give Nick a choice. He's coming in for an interview.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
it.
we're definitely interviewing Nick.
It's been
There's,
you
there's
before
no
as
question
well.
about that. There he is. In fact, we're just going to yoink him into the channel. How's it going, Nick? You're live to
Oh,
millions
hello.
upon millions of dedicated SLR
Oh, wow.
viewers.
I don't know
yeah,
if I can
yeah,
this pressure.
15.
15 people.
15
Jeez.
people. Yeah, it's true.
Oh,
So I think the last person to do a last to first challenge on a broadcast race is also in this
Mr.
chat right
Balance,
now. I
though.
think it was.
Oh yeah, it was me, wasn't it? Hell yeah.
How does it feel to take his crown?
Feels well amazing, you know.
Sweaty.
I just got disqualified in quali just so I could start at the back. Obviously, it was all on purpose. It was all part of the plan. Because I knew if I started at the back, I'd win. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Wasn't like I binned it and then got disqualified for the turn round.
is that what happened? You spun and then you
Yeah,
sort
well,
of did.
basically, I got a screen freeze going into the fast right,
Okay.
and then got on the curb and span, and then trying to get out of people's way. I waited on the track and then span it back around, and it said I went backwards. Apparently.
Yeah,
So there
that's.
you go.
I've had that a
F1
couple of
game
times
good.
where you go like 20 meters or something in the wrong direction down the track
Yeah.
trying to do a spin turn and it disqualifies
Yeah.
you. It really
Well, I guess
sucks.
I know that now. I'll just reverse next time.
But yeah, I mean, talk us through your race. I mean, you started on the hard tires, presumably. I mean,
So-
that made perfect sense and it worked a charm. So talk us through
so
your
I thought I'd
thought
start on
process.
the hards because obviously. Sorry, I just cut you off there really badly.
That's right.
What were you saying? Yeah, I thought I'd start on the hards because obviously I was starting at the back anyway, and I was like, well, it's probably a good thing if I get a bad start.
Yeah.
So we'll start on the hards. And I was thinking if I could run long on the hards, I'd then have some space in free air, which kind of worked out. And then some people crashed as well. And so by the time I pitted, I was kind of like in business with the two stoppers, and then just kept it clean and managed to not get a penalty.
Yeah, no penalties
Although I
at
nearly
all.
did at the end.
How
Yeah,
did
I
you
had
have 2 warnings?
Yeah, I had no warnings until lap 24.
Okay,
And then
yeah.
I got a warning on lap 24 and then another one 2 laps later. And so after that, I was just like trying to cruise and not get another one.
Yeah, fair enough. I assume you and Hugo's were talking to each other in voice chat, so
Yeah.
you knew what the situation was.
Yeah, you've seen the nice 2S formation.
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
line.
we did see that.
That was
Good stuff.
appreciated.
So yeah, congrats. So are you going to do the rest of the SLR season? Is that the plan?
Probably. I mean, I'm gonna try and do as many races as I can. I think I can do next week. But obviously, I'm not a full-time driver because I can't commit to doing it every week. So yeah, I'll just try and do the ones that I can really.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, you did yourself justice in this one. It was a
Thank
fantastic
you.
performance.
First win since 2017 as well. So
Is it really?
yeah.
Wow. That's no way.
In
It
fact,
can't
first
possibly
win on the
be.
wheel as well.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, that's incredible.
That's been a long time.
Bans knows about the last time that I nearly won on the wheel.
Not Suzuka, right?
Was it 2 times?
It was Suzuka. 2 times.
Well,
Was it
Monaco,
The
no?
other time.
M Gamer?
Oh yeah, Monaco. Damn. Forgot about that.
Well, I think we've got a bunch of people who want to talk to us. Who's gonna be next? Are you? Do you have you been talking to people behind the scenes, Thimo, or are we? Because I think Icewind wants to do an interview. I think Popo wants to do an interview.
Yeah,
I
Icewind is driving well.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I suggest we. Oh, Icewind is gone.
If you want, I can just brutally drag him.
He's here.
Hold on, let me do it. Don't even say
Let's
anything.
not give him an hello.
No warning at
There's
all.
a headset. You will
We don't do that here.
moved in this channel 5 seconds ago. Just so
Okay,
you're prepared.
Icewind.
Hello.
Hello.
Well, that was some performance. Certainly, the first half of the race, you were looking in like you were in a really good position there. What happened?
I just, after my second pit stop, I was on a 2-stopper. I just lit up the rears, maybe a bit cold tires, and just, well, that cost me my front wing. So there we go.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you had a few penalties I noticed as well.
I know.
In
yeah,
the first
sure.
half of the race, but certainly your pace was really good. I mean, were you surprised that you were so fast?
Oh yeah, definitely, because I mean, I was looking at time trial times before the race and then doing some practices with the guys, and I definitely was not up there. So I don't know. It was kind of out of the blue for me. So well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm happy about the pace, but of course, really stupid mistake. Just on my own, light up the rears and hit the wall.
Yeah, well, it's unfortunate. I mean, you got plenty of the rest of the season to make up for it, and I guess you must be optimistic now after that performance that you can.
Yeah, for sure, with the pace anyway. But there was some really weird stuff because I pitted for a new front wing, and then for whatever reason the pit crew put my old tires on me, and I had to pit again. So strange stuff going on there, but yeah, it was kind of over at that point anyway.
Well, we have. I guess we have Bahrain next. It is the regular calendar, right? Like
It
it's
is.
the
I
okay.
think so, yeah.
We're just doing
It
the
is.
full calendar. So Bahrain next. Have you done any running there at all? How are you looking for that one?
Not really. So just my career mode race, and that's about it. So I don't know. I'll have to get practicing that next.
Yep, fair enough. Well done today. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
And good luck with the next one.
Thank you.
Who else do we
Popo.
have? Popo.
Just my one comment of the race, like congrats to Hugo's and the guys up front. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. Thank you. Thank you,
that out
Icewind.
there.
It's good
Yeah, thanks, Icewind.
good stuff from the two SRL boys up front. Do we have Popo?
We have Popo.
Hey, he is there. Shall I just yoink him in?
I think he's listening to the broadcast, so you might be aware.
Okay, all right.
Let's just hope he does.
Yeah.
Hello.
Let's hope he's
Oh,
aware that
hello.
he's about to be yoinked into the channel. How's it going, Popo?
Hello.
So
Okay.
good stuff from you. The soft stint
thank
at
you.
the end was pretty dramatic. I mean, were you thinking that
Yeah.
you could get, I don't know, maybe even a podium from that one at the beginning of that soft
Yeah.
stint? You had a lot of pace.
Yeah, I was really going for the podium. I just hoped that some of the guys up front had some penalties, and then I went too aggressive on Astro and binned it. Yeah.
Yeah, talk us through the incident with Astro. We saw you go to the inside. Did you just brake a little bit too late?
Yeah, I think I got a little lock up actually also and broke too late. It was a bad line I had there. So
Yeah, fair enough. It's,
my own fault really.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it happens, and you got a good result in any case from that one. Were you expecting
you.
to be? Were you expecting to be at the sharp end in this one? You had some really good pace.
No, I didn't. I thought my race pace was gonna be worse than my quali pace, but actually I just found something really special. Like
Yeah.
when I practiced, I got penalty every second lap, but I didn't get one penalty in the race.
Yeah,
That
that was the next thing I was going to mention. No penalties at all. You were one of only two people in this race to not get any penalties. The other one won the race.
That's good.
But yeah, I mean, is that something you were focusing on at the beginning of the race to make sure you kept it clean, or was that just because you were driving well?
I was just driving well. I really just went for driving fast, and yeah.
Yeah, cool. It certainly worked for you. And
It
yeah,
really did.
how are you looking for the rest of the season? You got Bahrain next. What are your thoughts into that one?
Oh, I think that Australia is one of my better tracks without the assist, so maybe Bahrain is probably a bit worse track for me. So, but yeah, I hope to stay at the top.
Okay. Well, fantastic performance. Any shout outs you want to give? Anything else you want to say?
Shout out to Triton, man, for helping me there.
Hey.
holding back Astro Boys.
Yeah, he certainly did that. Astro Boys was in a few incidents today. But yeah, thanks for talking to us, and yeah, good luck.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Are you in the race? Are you in the 2S race tomorrow?
I'm a reserve driver, but so yeah,
Aha.
I will see if I can.
Cool.
I
Well,
can get a seat there.
well, yeah. Fingers crossed that we see you tomorrow. Then. Thanks for joining us
Okay.
today.
No,
You're
with
welcome.
good points, fingers crossed not.
Hey.
Oh wow.
Very selfish, I have to...
Them's fighting words from Thimo.
Just kidding.
Williams' team came to race. All right, who else have we got in the interview lounge that want to talk to us? We're got quite a few people. I mean, it's lots of hype in the first race, of course. We have Milos Martika, don't we? Can we speak to Milos Martika? We can speak to Milos Martika. How's it going, Milos?
Hello.
So we saw what happened at the beginning. You were right at the front. You were having a fantastic first lap, and then well, yeah, talk us through what happened.
Well, yeah. Well, even going back to qualifying, I was 3 tenths. I could have had maybe 6 tenths faster in total that lap, but someone had a different idea to do that. I'm not gonna point any fingers at the moment. But anyway, yeah, I got a pretty decent start to the first corner. I think I killed Bonus by accident, so sorry for that, I suppose, because I did wipe him out, and I didn't realize at the time. But yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, going into lap 2, I was going to turn 2 really on lap 2. There was just no traction. I wasn't really expecting it. The car went, and I couldn't save it. And yeah, I was lucky enough to avoid the wall, to be honest.
Yeah, we saw you. Yeah, you got away with that without any front wing damage. And then, what happened after that? You seemed to be battling with quite a few people down the grid.
Yeah. So after the tires were just cooked, so I just put it for a fresh set of mediums and took them to lap 19 to pit again. I did have a battle with Bonus eventually, and I got some damage, and I had to pit again. I think so. So I've seen some front wing fly off, and then he pitted, so I'm assuming that he got some damage. Then, well, yeah, and it was really on the second stint. I just kind of realized there was a chance to get some good points, even with me killing it on lap 2. So yeah, I just started pushing a bit more on around after the second pit stop, and I managed to get myself to P8. So
Yeah, well, P8's pretty solid. You got 4 points for that. Could have been more, but also, if you'd, I guess that's the thing. I mean, if you'd have said, like at the beginning of last season or whatever, that you'd be coming into this season disappointed with 8th place, that's it shows how much you've improved in the meantime.
yeah, really. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I could have had a podium maybe if I drove really well, but I don't know.
If it hadn't been for the piston ring issues, you mean?
Yes, the piston ring issues. I mean, you never know. I might as well have bowed in some other creative way instead of in turn 2.
Yeah, you guys should really hire a new engineer, by the way. Bant seems to always have piston ring issues. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
Gonna
it's
have to have a look.
get someone in who knows their pistons.
Yeah, but you look at season 4 for example. I've scored literally 0 points across the whole 21 races.
That was a good meme.
It was season 5. I got a few points. And
Not
then,
allowed
I
to
thought
retire.
you were the season 5 champion.
season 4 champion, was it not?
Oh, season 4 champion. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you don't, yeah, we've moved past the point where you get an automatic championship for scoring a point. So
Yes.
that's
a bit
progress.
disappointing, but
Yeah, I mean that's true.
Yeah, I thought Kirst had already won the championship today. To be honest.
4 times over, yeah.
the next 4 seasons.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the race. I mean, anything else you want to say about the race and how you're feeling for Bahrain?
No, I haven't done Bahrain in a career. No, I felt pretty good. So hopefully Bahrain can be a nice race. And tomorrow there's 2 SRL as well.
That's true. Yeah. How are you feeling for 2 SRL? You got your eye in with this one today.
I do.
Don't say anything about the engine.
Yes, no engine good, please. But yeah, I'm up for a decent result in 2S to compensate for me, well, being it in SLR. So
Yeah.
hopefully tomorrow can be a better day than today.
Oh well. That's fingers crossed. And yeah, thanks for joining us today.
No bother.
Who else do we have? Do we have anyone else who wants to talk to us? We got Hugo's and
Isn't your
Triton
race
in there.
about to be underway?
Yeah, hold on,
oh,
let me-
oh dear.
2 minutes.
Yes, it is. Wow, I totally forgot. I thought it was 8 for some reason. It used to be 8, but they moved it forward. So it's now 7. So yeah, I guess Revo is registered. I should probably register as well, to get us into a proper split there. But yeah, so yeah, fantastic. I think that'll do it for the broadcast.
Yep.
Thank you to everyone for watching, and thank you to everyone for joining us. We have 2 SRL tomorrow. That's the season opener there. Both Thimo and I will be on track for that one, trying to make Williams great again. We will see. We will see whether that works out for us. But it's been a lot of fun today. Any thoughts, final or otherwise, Thimo?
For the next race, I'm pretty torn. I don't know. On one hand, I enjoy my clean race, but on the other hand, today was really entertaining.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep. I enjoyed
So
today a lot.
I'm a bit torn there. If I should say out loud that I hope for some more chaos in the future, or if I should keep that to myself to seem like a better human being. I'm not sure. Oh damn it! I blew it. But anyways, don't judge me too hard. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks a lot for
Au
watching.
revoir.